Arizona, but it's all good, you know.
Damn, that's crazy. Well,
Yes.
if you
Wow.
ever get that happening again, bitch, you know who to call. We all up in here. We all up in through here in the Phoenix and the Tucson area. So
Good.
you got some peoples here now.
Thank you.
Um, I pulled up this little song put out a little while ago. It's called 3 a.m. for Constellation. Can you see it? I think I shared it to
Yes.
you. Okay.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Mukamar. So we're gonna do something a little different today. I got the homies in the Discord, and we're just having conversations with other creatives. I'll make sure to shout them out so you guys can
Okay,
get their ads. Just stay tuned. We'll be starting in a little bit, but yeah.
Tell me what you doing over there. Hey, I know that we ain't playing scared. All that bass inside your voice for a minute there. Hey, where did it all go under here? Just trying to show you I'm a different kind of lover, babe. God, I'm simply saying he ain't been held this way. But you cannot stay. Every time that we sip and reminisce, and now we bickering like siblings all night, all night, all night. Will be a fantasy tonight, all night, all night, yeah. And the guy on the phone, he can't leave me alone. Said I'm all he wants. Oh, no one break a few hearts, might leave you in the dark. Please don't say it's my fault when you falling apart. Something about us, baby, maybe it just feels so right. I ain't trying to fight it, but I still put up a fight. Still when the stars align, it's cause they love each other. Creating constellations, we making them undercover. Tonight, just tonight, baby.
I like it. It's a vibe. I like it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm a little apprehensive about it because, like, I'm listening back to it and I'm like cringing because, like, there's certain things I'm like, but I'm just not a mixer person, so I'm trying to learn this, and then hopefully I like put it back out and stuff. But yeah, that's a little stuff.
Valid. It doesn't have to be perfect, and they always say if you look back and you cringe or whatever, it means you're growing. But
Mm-hmm.
like, don't be hard on yourself. Like, making music is hard.
I gotta say that again. I'm so mad. Anyways, what up? It's your boy Mukamar Sama. We're doing things a little bit different today. I got some guests in the Discord. Hopefully, y'all get to know them, other creative stuff, people I'm doing collaborations with. So make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all join the Discord as well. Send me an ad, and DM me, and I'll get you that invite ASAP. Let me get these people on.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
No, he usually shares it over here. Is it just?
Oh, y'all
on the
trying?
loading screen?
Y'all trying to find the link?
Yeah, it's just like loading. It says stream failed to start.
Yeah, it's just loading on my side. It just shows the little loading screen.
Oh, okay. It says the stream whatever starting. It's a little laggy.
Yeah,
It'll
okay,
pop
so I can
up.
say where it says stream failed to start. Oh no, it's back now.
It's back. It's back now. Y'all can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I got some guests on the stream. We got the homie Nani, Vakora Batsu, and Tobechi. Have their ads in the bio below. Well, yeah, we're doing stuff a little different today. We got some guests. They're having a dope conversations about just being creative in general, and I wanted to share that with y'all. So, what is y'all whys? That's what we're gonna start off with. Why do you create?
That's a good question.
I'll start. I create because I feel like crap if I don't. And I create because I'm overwhelmed with ideas that I've had for like years, turned into decades. And I create because I just like to see the things that are in my mind come to real life. And my friends too. Like, I love helping my friends create the visions that's in their mind. I love being a part of other people's creative projects. And to just put more art out there. I think art heals everything. Like, I literally think art could make the whole world become at peace if we had enough of it.
I feel that. I think that art does heal. It does. But world peace, I don't know. Is it gonna bring? It just depends on how you see it, I guess.
I could see it bringing, I don't know if it bring world peace necessarily. I do bring that camaraderie amongst different communities, being able to express themselves in a way that I think all communities are restricted in, because there's always some sort of like societal standards that you have to meet, man, whatever religion you're a part of, what have you, culture. So for people to and give them that, to they are outside of those labels that are put on them.
Yeah.
I create, I think for the same reason. I think I like what Toe said. I like being able to bring other people's visions to life. I think that's exciting to see, and to be a part of something outside of myself or outside of, what we're obligated to be a part of on the day-to-day. And I think it helps me to give my feelings a name, or to put something on it, so I can like help to kind of digest what I'm experiencing. Yeah.
I feel that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely on the digesting and experience.
Mm-hmm. Like, instead of, I think growing up, I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota. So like I grew up around every creed and color, which was really exciting. But even growing up in that, there was still a lot of anti-Blackness we're exposed to. So like finding the alts, like the Black alt scene, was really exciting for me, because it was just like, oh my gosh, my people, my family, I'm home.
Found your tribe.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you found your spiritual family in a sense. So like, it's exciting to find other people that are like-minded like you in that way. But I think growing up in that way, and like code switching just being like an integral part of your survival, being able to find something that like goes like completely against that, almost like rock and roll, but like it's like a sub-scene of rock and roll, where it's like specifically for people of color or Black people, and I love that. And it just gives you more like confidence to just be like, no, this is actually how I feel, and being okay with saying this is how I feel. Like, yeah, I think like my emotional state is really tied to my art, because my emotional state is like, at first, just growing up when I was younger, I was very scared of like disappointing anyone and like not being what people need me to be at any given time. But I think the punk scene or the rock and roll scene is just like literally repulses that, or like, you know what I mean, it goes against that in every shape or form. And it's like, no, actually I feel this way. So now I'm okay to be like, no, I'm upset, or no, I'm this isn't okay with me.
It helped you
And
express
it was
yourself.
like, yeah, like at first it was like, you can't feel that way, like you can't say those things, and it's like, no, this is actually how I feel, so now what, you know? So I think it's helped me to get that type of confidence to be like, you know, just embrace where you're at with things, so that you can move forward. But you have to learn how to be real with yourself too about where you're at.
Yeah, you gotta face your demons.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Yeah, that's real.
Do you guys think that your art helps with like shadow work and facing your fears? I know Toa's talking about she's trying to face her fears of going on stage. I have that fear as well.
Yeah, I think. Mhm.
No, go ahead. I was just saying, I say yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, especially with like recording, because I feel the same way. I think So said something too about like not liking to hear her voice on a microphone, and I feel that same way. Like I like singing to myself. I don't know about like singing to other people. I don't necessarily like hearing my voice on a microphone, but I just love music. I love what music does for people, because I know, and that's what helps me to perform, is to like know that I'm not doing it. It's not about me. It's about what, you know, the shared experience we get through these lyrics and through the song. So like it's helped me to, I guess, associate hearing my voice in a different way, and like getting over that fear of that, so that I can share.
Yeah, because you never know who you're gonna inspire.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So it's like you gotta put it out there. Being an artist, I can kind of see why now you're saying it can help bring world peace, because being an artist is more than being about yourself. It's about how you inspire the next generation of people, of artists.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because your art is a reflection of you. And I feel like putting your art out there is saying, okay, this facet of myself, this emotion I felt, whether I thought it was good or bad, like it's okay to be this. And so when someone else sees it,
Yeah.
hears it, right, experiences it, they're like, oh, it's okay to be this. Like, especially like with you talking about the Black alt scene, like there's so many Black kids, depending on where you grew up, who like, you was made fun of for listening to rock music. You was made fun of for watching anime. You was made fun of for fucking reading books. You know what I mean? Like, and then when you finally meet your people or you experience something, you're like, oh, I can be Black and do this? What?
Right, yeah.
I didn't know.
Or like even just redefining what that, because what is it, what do you mean, you know what I mean, like what do they mean by being Black? Like why isn't Black reading, why isn't Black, you know what I mean, Black is poetry, Black is art, you know what I mean? But it's like I've seen it in different cultures too, in the Hispanic community and white community, where it's like you can't do things that are not culturally deemed as a part of that culture.
Yes.
And it's already like, you know what I mean, like set in stone of what you're supposed to like, or what you're supposed to do.
Spitting facts, yeah.
Yeah, but I also believe this is the era to prove those things wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you get a lot of this era is like, oh, first bioengineer or first female-owned Black business in this type of category or whatever. You know, the first female Black doctor to do this, to cure that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're getting a lot of those first now.
Yeah.
And not because, you know, we live in this era where people are trying to defy those preconceived notions, those boundaries. But going back to what you said a little bit before that, just to insert my my reason why I make music or whatever, or do what I do.
Yes, sir. Go ahead,
The
Vakora.
reason why I create is mainly to express myself. And so that was something you had said, or yeah, you make this music so you can have an emotion that even if it's right or wrong, you know what I'm saying, this is how I felt and I want to convey how I felt. And so that's usually like my mindset behind the music that I make. But more of it is because like another part of my creation process is like I spend a lot of time in my own head. And so I'll play out conversations and stuff like that, play out scenarios in my head, and I'm just like, well, let me create out of that idea. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I go musically, but if it's not music, then mainly I'm creating to entertain. Cuz that's like the biggest thing to me. I like the interaction that you get when you interact with them, if it's especially if it's a positive one. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go around, being toxic to everybody, but because I go and I have these conversations with people, I always try to pass off some type of positive energy and positive vibes in that direction. So in case I ever meet those people again, the positive energy can be returned. And with that, that's where I'm like, when I go into that creation thing, it's more of a, hey, I'm just trying to entertain people. Even with my music, that's a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want people to be entertained. I'm gonna have fun with this song, but like, hopefully I make it good enough to where people can enjoy it.
Amen, brother.
But yeah, so that's my why. And as for the other creative stuff, it's the same thing. Entertain it. You know what I'm saying? I want people to have fun. The more fun you have, the more positive vibes you have. I feel like the better you'll remember those moments, because you're decorating space, you're decorating time as you move through it. And you could spend your time working, or you can spend your time making music and stuff like that. But when you make music and you make a song, the reason why I like that aspect of decorating space just a little bit more is because that song can be played in repetition. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I made a song and maybe I played it here and everybody was like, oh yeah, that was cool. We had our little moment. But that song could have more of those moments throughout time for multiple people, where it's like, hey, I played this song at my 16th birthday party, and this is where I first got that dance with whoever such and such. Or someone could be playing that at their wedding, or someone could be playing that at their funeral, or so it's like the spaces that music gets played in has always been interesting to me, and I like the idea of entertaining people in those spaces. You know what I'm saying? Making a song for this type of occasion, making a song for this type of occasion. But often my music comes out as a therapeutic session, you know what I'm saying? Facing those demons, facing, the things that go through your mind and the ideas you have behind it. So sometimes I do make personal songs because, I'm talking about personal situations. And yeah, that's just part of my creation process.
Yeah. I think that a lot of the times when I create something, it's like, hey, this happened to me and this is how I'm processing it. This is how I make sense of it. Like, when it comes to traumatic events in my life, I'm just like, all right, well, I'm going to put that in the anime. I'm going to put that in my music because I don't really know how to process it right now. And whenever I go back and look at those situations, I'm just like, okay, that makes sense. And that's why this character is going to act like this. It just kind of gives you that second chance to kind of relive the moment. And, whether it be bad or good, you still get that lesson from it. So I relate to that.
Bakor, I don't know if this like kind of relates, but like when you were talking about like, oh, I played this song at like my birthday or my wedding or things like that. I feel like music is the quickest way to time travel. And like, like when you hear a song from like the 50s or 60s, like the visions that come up in your brain are like what people dressed like at that time, or like it could even be black and white images. So as far as music, I mean, I think all art reflects the times. Like I feel like it's history, but I feel like with music, Yeah, but with music specifically, I feel like that's one of the most beautiful things about music. Like, there are certain songs that I'll hear and like I'll just start crying. Like, this actually happened to me like a few weeks ago. You know that song like "Lean on Me When You're Not Strong," right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, mind you, that
I
song has
literally cried to that song. Yes, I feel you.
yes. Like, before, I had never cried to that song, right? It was just like, oh, it's that song. I went to when I was in Tucson, Arizona, and I was stranded and I didn't have my car. Like, I went to this gas station and that song started playing. And I literally just started bawling. And the girl was just trying to get me a deal on this 2-for-1 water. I'm sure she was just like, she was honestly really patient with me. Like, I wasn't like bawling, the tears were just falling. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like, this song has never made me cry like this before. Like, it's usually just like a cookout song, you know?
Yeah, but
But
like,
So
yeah,
real.
it's
I love
like
that you said that too. Sorry,
for
go ahead.
sure. That was for sure kind of like what I was getting at, but you said it way better. Um, but well, the other thing I was gonna say was I like when moments like that can happen for people. And it's not always like the best moment, you know what I'm saying? Obviously you're crying or whatever, but like that's kind of what I mean by like decorating space, decorating time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you might not remember exactly what you said during that moment. You might not remember exactly who did what first or whatever, but you'll remember that background. You know what I'm saying? That background music that was playing, or you'll remember that one thing or whatever if it stood out so much, and it's usually something that's like in a creative aspect, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, when my grandpa passed, I remember we used to always play this card game together, you know what I'm saying? And that was the thing that, you know, was that connection for him. And you might not remember all the conversations that you had with them or whatever, but you remember the things y'all used to do together, or you remember the music y'all used to listen to together, or whatever that creative thing is. Usually, kind of like sticks out for people, and that's where, you know, time traveling, what you were saying about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I really like that you said time travel. I've always said that music is like a time capsule. Like I've always said that, and it's probably the best um, like collection of history that you'll have,
mhm.
because it's coming from the people of that time, what they're seeing, they're experiencing. Um, so yeah, I've always, that's something that I've always, or you can always kind of see the challenges that people are having, and you understand why they're having them. Like my favorite thing is old like swing music, or like the 50s, like Motown, and like certain songs that you hear from women, and you know, certain things, like especially just thinking about the dating scene now, it's just like certain things that women were dealing with back then. If you hear the content of women's songs back then, like Respect by Aretha, or At Last, Etta James, like certain things, and then you hear, and you can compare it or contrast it to what we're talking about now, and it's just, it's entertaining. You know, people probably have other words to explain what they're seeing or what they're experiencing from women artists now, but it's going from even rap to, you know, pop with Sabrina Carpenter, I think it is. And her song Please Please Please, and it's like, usually back in the day there was that, it was the other way around, where like you have to make sure you're representing your man, your male partner. And now there's a lot of conversations for women about, like, you know, you want your male partner to represent you in a way, because you don't want to be out here looking crazy, you know? So yeah,
Yeah, but I was gonna say, yeah, music has changed a lot in every genre over the years, and I think one of the most interesting ones to look at is like the change of R&B music, because it used to be all about like love and like, I can't wait to get this girl to be mine, or whatever, all the things I used to do to show you that I love you, and you know what I'm saying, I do anything to be with you. And now it's like, yo, she let me fuck, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She let me fuck twice, yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
I don't
burning
even give a fuck.
bucket. Yeah.
I don't even give, you know what I'm saying? But so it's just so crazy to see like the transition. And although there's still songs out there that pay homage to, like, you know, the older stuff. Well, you were talking earlier about Olivia Dean, you know what I'm saying, and how she makes music and mixes it with jazz and all that stuff. So I'm like, there are still people that are gonna pay homage to the old school style and respect the craft, is the way I call it. But you know what I'm saying, the transition of time is because of, you know, the way music has changed over time. Hip hop had a big influence on the change of music, because back in like the 80s and 70s, you weren't hearing hip hop at all, and like barely in the 90s did it start to get on the radio. And so like now we have where it's like the number one form of music entertainment.
We have like spin-offs of it. How do you guys feel about the spin-offs of hip hop? Like when it goes into reggaeton and K-pop and all these other renditions of.
I don't mind it as long as they're not like bastardizing it or like, you know, making it like to where they don't fuck with us or they're trying to act like they're the originators. Like if
yeah, just pay homage to where it came from. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't think there's no problem. And I'm not saying you got to be like, oh, I got this idea from this and he inspired me and that's my OG and blah blah blah. But just be like, you know, just don't hate. Just don't hate. Show love to everybody. Respect other artists. And
But I would.
Everything should be good. You know what I'm saying?
I will
You don't even have to like the other people. You just respect their craft.
I will say this though, like if it's just to make a quick buck, then like that's where I kind of have a problem with it. Like, all right, they're just kind of using it because it's trendy, and you know they don't really fuck with it. You know.
I think you have to respect the people. I think the line between appreciation and appropriation is really thin. I don't think it's a thin line at all. And I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like you said, you don't have to specifically say it, but I feel like you can just feel it. Like you can feel when someone really fucks with the people, the music, the culture. I feel like it can be felt through the music. And I do think it's interesting how much hip hop has influenced world culture, because hip hop as a genre is still, like you were saying, it's still fairly new. Like hip hop is like 51 or like 53 years old. Like hip hop is not even 60 years old, you know? And every culture around the world does hip hop. Like I was even saying this the other day. I was like, because I think I was telling y'all in one of the chats, like I had went to this club around here. It was like all white people, but they was playing black music like half the night. And I was saying like most other cultures, when they're ready to really party, when they're ready to really get down, they're playing hip hop. They'll mix it with their cultural stuff, right? But the beat is hip hop. And I just think it's crazy how strong of a hold hip hop has on the whole world, considering how new it still is.
Yo, I literally just seen something on Facebook the other day where there were some dudes over in like Baghdad or Iraq or something like that. I'm not trying to make fun of where they're from. I just didn't know where they were from. But like they were playing Tupac.
I've seen
and
that.
homie was running, reciting the lyrics, and then he started.
I was just like, word, bro, yeah.
Yo, like a song that old could still be that powerful. You know what I'm saying?
It resonates, yeah.
People are feeling it and resonating with it still to this day. You know what I'm saying? In a completely foreign country.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's I think Toe said something, and you were saying something about like how it was interesting how people can, I can't remember exactly what you said. You were saying something about like people can still understand the music or understand its relevancy for them, even in their situation or something of the sort. And I felt the same way, except in a different way. Like I see that, like how with Tupac, it's great. The music, our music, can bring people together, but it's like the same admiration they have for the music. It's like polarizing, or it's bringing some sort of dissonance in them because they like the culture and they like the music. They do not like where it's coming from.
The people.
So I see that at the same time because it's like you fucking with me, but you're not fucking with me.
Yes.
So yeah.
I think it's scary. Like, I'm a big fan of gatekeeping, personally. And I feel
Crazy.
like, yeah, with everything Black people are doing these days, sometimes I just be like, if y'all don't be quiet and stop telling our stories.
For real.
Because like
yeah.
we really can't control it. And like this, I mean, of course, it's an age as old as time, but I feel like it's happening so quickly now. And there, at the same time that we're creating all this new stuff, like our history is also being taken, which again has always been happening. Like, I think I had mentioned, I recorded, my grandma was born in Mississippi in 1929, and I recorded an oral history of her. And one of the biggest things she kept saying during the whole interview, multiple different questions, was, they stole our history. They stole our history. And it's so scary still seeing that happen now. Like, people, like young kids reciting hip hop songs, saying the N-word, and they've never seen a Black person in their life. And it's like, yo, like this is scary. And I think other cultures are allowed to gatekeep more. Like, it's seen as important. But I feel like when Black people, when we gatekeep, it's seen as like selfish, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we don't have a right.
To be us.
It's like we don't have a right to preserve ourselves.
Yes.
I feel the same way. I've seen that. I say this all the time too. Like, there's just certain, like, Santeria, like that's not our culture. If you were to go and do it, like, you know, if somebody you know is a part of that culture, then, you know, cool. But like, it's deemed, it's sacred. You know, there's certain religions and there's certain music and practices and dresses, what have you, that are sacred. And it's like, we don't get the same, I feel personally, we don't get the same respect because our start in it wasn't the same. We're not in our homeland and what have you. But it just, you know, it makes it feel like we don't have ownership of nothing. Even though we didn't start here, like, technically speaking, but we built in here. That definitely contributes to where we are today as a society. So I see that happen a lot, where it's like, you know, it's like everyone else, they can kind of keep this to themselves, but when, like you said, when Black people do it, it's like, it's a problem. Like, what do you mean this is just for you? Like, you know, well, my people have their own personal version of this, and it's like, okay, but understand where they got it from. Like, it's really weird. Like, it's weird to, like, have to try to defend it, but that's what happens. It's like, they will legit kind of treat you like you're crazy for wanting to keep something for yourself.
Yeah.
Or just to ask you to, you know, respect it. Like, this isn't yours, you know?
Facts.
But yeah.
No, that's valid.
I was
I mean,
just saying. Oh, sorry.
No, originally I wasn't on y'all side about the gatekeeping thing, but the points y'all make are valid. So it's like, I see why y'all are for gatekeeping. So I totally makes sense. It was a justified opinion. Before I was just like, what, gatekeeping?
Because, you know, I think I can see it from where you're saying too. Is like, you know, don't hoarding information. Really, you know, it doesn't help anyone. It's kind of an elitist type of mindset in certain ideology, but the reality is a lot of people are already operating like that, except for Black people. So I think that's where that is coming from, where it's like, no, you need to kind of protect yourself just like these other groups are protecting themselves. but I also want to ask you why. That's my interpretation of why you would have said it. But why were you originally against gatekeeping?
I believe if everyone is willing to share with each other, then you get to experience the best version of life. And what I mean by that, I'll just give this quick example. So imagine if you could only eat food from your culture and how limited your food possibilities would be at that point. You know what I'm saying? Now, food is just one version of like integration, but like by everyone integrating with each other, then I just believe that's how, you know what I'm saying, everybody can get ahead in life if we're all working together. I've always believed in that mentality. It is kind of like a generic type of thing. It's not specific to what you guys were saying, but that's why I don't believe in gatekeeping, because I'm just like, yeah, that's how people get ahead, but it's like, why are we trying to put others down? You know what I'm saying? Gatekeeping is also a way to put others down. So it's like, I understand everybody wants to get ahead in life, and when it comes to Black people specifically, I do believe that we've been held down, held back, gatekeeped out of things, and that's what's put us down behind other people. And so it gives us that, like, that's where I can understand wanting to gatekeep things, because that's how we could get and elevate ourselves to a higher level. But I'm like, we could also share and be elevated to a higher level as well. And I feel like that's kind of what we do. People take from us and you know what I'm saying, copy us and do all these things or whatever. And there are people that show praise, but often it's louder. The naysayers are louder than the people that are supporting. So it's like, because you hear the discrimination, because you hear the wrongdoings and all the unjustified things, it makes you want to speak up even louder and be like, hey, this is why we need to be respected. This is why we need vindication in our things. You know what I'm saying? This is why maybe we should gatekeep some things. But when it comes down to the generalization of it, I just believe everybody can get ahead if we all work together in an integrated, I keep saying that, but integrated way. Because I'm just taking it back to the food now. Tacos are some of my favorite foods. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if you could never eat tacos because you never shared, because Mexican people never shared those secrets with you.
Yeah. No, I completely understand that.
Sorry,
you know what I'm saying? And then just the last thing off of a food aspect, imagine the new dishes that were created because of the things that we've integrated and shared with other people. You know what I'm saying? So,
yes.
Like, I feel like that's how new ideas can get. That's how new versions of music were created. That's how you get like the Afro jazz type beat. You know what I'm saying? And all these new trap and all that other stuff. Because we wouldn't have that if people weren't sharing their music with the other cultures and the other genres and stuff like that.
Valid. I will say almost every genre of music is like, I feel like it's low-key Black. Because like Afro jazz is like black. Reggaeton is Black. I mean, reggaeton was literally invented by Black Latinos. Like, but yeah. But Nani, I feel like you was gonna say something.
I was just gonna say, just playing a little bit of devil's advocate here. I think that's what everyone wants, is to be like, ideally, if we all support each other, then yeah, it does benefit everyone's quality of life and what they have access to. But the reality is, it kind of goes into that conversation of allyship, and like, at least for Black people, how significant of a change or a help or a support has that really been for these allies? Because in an ideal world, yes, we are all benefiting from sharing our ideas, but the reality is that Black people are not benefiting at the same scale as other people with these sources of allyship. which is why you have other people that don't really agree with the whole the desegregation. Um, because I wouldn't say I necessarily didn't agree with desegregation, but I understand where those people come from because it's like, who did that really help in the end when Black people were flourishing, on our own during that time? So I think it's nice to, if in an ideal world, to think, yeah, we should all be able to share and make each other's lives better. But in the reality is that's not really how it's played out. So that's why I do understand why, there are people that want more gatekeeping of the culture. As myself, I do see where that comes from. Is just because as much as I want to just contribute and hope that what I contribute comes back to me, the reality is that's not the case. Not just even just being Black, but also as being a woman, which is why I love that movie.
Ladies First.
Not Ladies First, but that one was good. That was really good. Like Send Help. That's one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Send Help was
Send
crazy.
Help was hilarious.
That was top tier. That was a delicious film. Like, I was just very pleased. But it just kind of shows that that dynamic of, like, she's working as hard, if not harder, than her male counterparts. But it's still, even as a white woman, it just shows that didn't, that doesn't benefit her. It only helps her so much because she's a woman. So.
Yo, what up,
having
Art by
that
Vaughn?
aspect, and then you have, the dynamic of being an African American woman. It makes the challenges a little bit more realistic or harder. But I think that's because, and I think that's just why people are so apprehensive to the idea of just sharing. I think we should be a little bit more conservative or like sacred, like how the Asian communities are. Like their practices, they can be a little more militant sometimes, but they are very, strict in that way of like, you don't mess with this. This is not up for conversation. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is just how that is.
I agree.
I'm glad you brought that up because like the first thing I was thinking is like if you wanted to go like learn kung fu from like the master somewhere, you could not just go online and like sign up for a class.
Yeah.
And I feel like I like that. Like I respect that. And I mean, definitely, Vakora, I completely agree with like what you were saying. Like, and I think this is what you were saying too, Nani. Like, theoretically, you know what I mean? It would be nice if we could just do that. But the thing is honestly, Black people are the most like some of the most sharing people you'll ever meet. That, to be honest, that's why we keep ending up in the situations that we do. Like,
with inviting people to the cookouts. And
Mm-hmm.
we want to go back. We want to go back, maybe slavery. And we're over here showing people how to clean themselves and whatnot, what have you. So I'm just saying, and it's good. That's good to be welcoming. That's great. That's a beautiful thing. But you also do need to have a little bit of that self-preservation and being like, to a certain extent, I cannot extend everything of myself to you.
Everybody, real quick, say hi to Art by Vaughn, one of the homies. He's in the Twitch. Everybody, shout out to him. Yeah, no, I totally agree with what you guys are saying. The cookout needs to be gate kept. We can't just at any little, showing of, rhythm or Blackness, we just invite them to the cookout. I feel like we are too given with that. Yeah, it's crazy. I think that would be cool, like if you had to go to like Harlem or whatever, if you really wanted to rap and you really wanted to be part of this culture or just Black cultures in general, because I think that even with
this is a part of it. But is that what checking in is for like the streets when guys are like, you need to check in? Is that a part of it?
It's a little bit deeper than that, but it's definitely like, y'all, if you go to LA or you go to certain parts of LA, you gotta check in because it's just like, if you're out here just
from that neighborhood, then it's a problem for some people.
Yeah.
So then can we argue that's a part of us, even though it's in a different, like you said, it's a little deeper, is that a part of us trying to like restrict.
Yeah, well, I would say like if someone's like trying to claim that they're blood or whatever, like you're not gonna let somebody go to your hood and then like claim it and act like they run shit there. You know what I'm saying? So it is a form of gatekeeping, but it's also a form of extortion on the other end. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to like, hey, if you want to look cool, come into our neighborhood, you gotta check in. You know what I'm saying?
If you want to pull up in the hottest city around, you know what I'm saying, where everybody be at, you know what I'm saying, and look like you really from here, then you gotta pay a fee for that.
Yeah.
Especially if we know you can pay that fee. If
see.
you were nobody, then maybe keep your head down. If you don't see nobody recognize you, you might be good. But if you got a name for yourself, you know what I'm saying, or a brand or something like that, people know who you are and know you're gonna be over there, you gotta check in. You're gonna need protection. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I think
And that's how they advertise it to you.
I feel like Black people gatekeeping is the equivalent of cultural preservation for us, just because of our history. I think like other cultures, it is a little different, but I feel like for us, like y'all remember the year that it was like Macklemore won like rap, right? That
Over Mad City, yeah.
That shit.
Nobody believed that.
He didn't even believe that.
Right? But that's what the decision was, and hip hop was even younger at that time than it is now. And so to me, I feel like that's why we really do just have to tread lightly, because every time we like, especially with everything that's coming out now, like they're watching us. Every time we come out with something new, they're figuring out a way to profit,
repackage it,
and erase us from it, right? Like y'all seen those robots hip hop dancing in fucking China. You know what I mean? So you have a whole thing of robots that we're not getting, no Black person's getting paid for that, right? And people are enjoying something that came from us, and we're not getting a dime off of that. They're not getting any historical context around that. Like even Nani, like with burlesque, like so like there's so much Black burlesque, but it's so hidden, right? Because certain people, like a lot of white women or other things, it's seen as empowerment when they do it, when they take off their clothes. But when a Black woman does it, you're a whore, right? So it's like, it's historical context is so important. And if we don't teach people, unfortunately, you do have some allies, but the average person is not going to dive deep on knowing where fried chicken came from, on knowing where hip hop or jazz came from. Do you know how many people still think jazz came from white people? There's so many people
That's
who
crazy.
still think rock and roll
really
came
crazy.
from white people. You know what I mean? There's still some people, they look at Elvis as the king, and all his shit he stole, man. Like, so
that's why I can't really rock with Drake, because he's like the modern day Elvis, like, you know what I'm saying?
Wow. Wow. When you put it like that, okay. God damn.
Yeah. No, that's valid. That's why, to me, that's why Drake really had to kill that. Because, and I think I said this in one of our other conversations, where I was like, Drake basically said, if you're a suburban white kid or a suburban mixed kid or whatever, you can still be the top rapper in the world, right? With no street cred. It doesn't matter. And Kendrick was like, no.
I think, well, it depends. Like, I think that hip hop is about being yourself. I don't think that you need street cred to be the best rapper, but that's just my opinion.
I completely agree, but I feel like Drake was claiming to.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I don't think you have to, but I feel like
Drake was promoting that, like, yes,
he was lying, like he wasn't being himself. Like there's plenty of rappers out there who are very good, who I grew up in the fucking suburbs, like like that was our ancestors' goal to like not shit, but
it's still important to know where it came from. I don't know.
Yeah,
Drake, I say he dug himself in that hole.
Yeah. See, I love conversations like this because this is like the social commentary aspect that I want to have in my series where, my characters, Hakeem and Devontae, they come from two different backgrounds. Devontae being somebody who grew up in the hood and was, had a rough environment. And then you have Hakeem, which he grew up, African, like Nigerian American. They're like kind of representations of myself because I used to live in the hood as well. So it's just like both of those characters show the dichotomy of like the diaspora wars. That's something very important to talk about in my art. Yeah, sir.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's a good way to depict that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like
Oh, my bad, because I'm gonna make this real quick. I'm finna go get something to eat, so I'm finna, dip
Okay.
out.
Oh,
So
for
I'm
sure.
gonna just let y'all do y'all thing.
For sure,
Yeah.
no problem. It's a W stream. I appreciate you stopping by. Make sure y'all go check out Vakora. You know what I'm saying? On all platforms, HBK Vakora. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you check out the Casual Crew podcast as well. Yes.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir. I got you,
Y'all do
bro.
your thing.
All right, then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost done with this piece.
It's looking good.
Yeah, I love it. My baby got curves, man.
Yeah, back then during those times they were ripping off and stealing our music, even though they've been doing it since the beginning. Okay, that was a comment left.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what's weird too about Drake is like there's genres, and I can't say if it was because of him or after or before him, but there was genres for Black kids that didn't grow up in those.
Yeah, those are the backpack
same,
rappers.
Circumstances. So yeah, we got Childish Gambino.
Yes. J.
And
Cole.
J. Cole was like that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't have that crazy rough background and they could still, but like you're saying, so like he purposely didn't lean into that. He was kind of like almost trying to pretend like he was the original depiction of hip hop or where it really derived from. Because he was always, and they took, I think Megan was the first one to say something about him just trying to rep every hood that he's hanging out in. So it was just like, dude, like just be yourself. And literally, to this day, so like Drake would have been such a cool, he could have been like one of them Seth Rogen type actors, like, because his type of comedy is real, I don't know, like that type of comedy. So like, I could have seen him do that, but it's like he got real into this rapper character and he's not letting it go.
Nah, I definitely agree with that.
But yeah, and then like I think that's one of my other favorite movies is Dope because it kind of depicts those same, artists that love hip hop, but they didn't, same African American teenage artists that loved hip hop but didn't come from those same, well, they kind of did, but they didn't partake in it, like, the same street activity or whatever.
Yeah.
And still being able to make their own, version of their own music with their circumstances and didn't have to like line up with what hip hop is supposed to be. One of my other favorite artists is Princess Nokia. I think she's from New York.
Yeah.
Oh, I like her. Small titty. She fat belly.
Yes. We're best friends. I can just feel it. Like
That's why I had to link y'all. See, you know what I'm saying?
Cause what? Like what? Only bad bitches know about Princess Nokia. I'm just gonna let you know that now. But yeah, bro, like she does that too. Like she's not from the streets necessarily. She's probably been around it from what I can gather, but she's not been like really immersed into it. And she makes really just a niche type of hip hop. I love
Yeah.
it. She's like, there's one song she made called, I think it's 1995, and it's
Mm.
like she's almost mimicking the cadence of Tupac on it, and the
Mm.
beat is like old 90s, and it's just, but she does it in a way that's like you could tell she's paying homage to that, you know what I'm saying, that time frame and that type of hip hop, but it's not in like a, I don't know, she just does it in such a good way, you know. And she's also one of those little
Yes.
punk alt girlies, and like, yeah, so it's just, you know, I love seeing that subgenre come out of hip hop, where there's a lot of the weird kids that probably were into like grunge or like, you know, the alt scene, but still also have like appreciation for hip hop. I think that's beautiful.
I love that. I wrote that down. I need to go back and like listen to more of her music because I do feel like hip hop reached a lot of the weird kids. Because to me, when
Hmm.
hip hop was created, those were the weird kids that who were making
Yeah,
hip hop from the
yeah.
beginning, and
They were
I
like
feel like
our rock and rollers, kind of. Yeah.
yes, like literally to me, that's why when people say they don't like hip hop, I'm like, you don't have taste. That's personally what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so much out there. If you don't like a certain style or a certain rapper or whatever, that's one thing. But it's such a
There's so
wide,
much, yeah.
yes, it's like, yeah.
I can't say that I've gotten into, I mean, I have a little bit for K-pop, but like early K-pop. I'm talking like 2008, 2009. This stuff now, I can't get jiggy with, not even gonna hold you, but you know, and I think that's where I get a little apprehensive about those recreations of hip hop, because I don't even know what the hell that is. Like, I
It
don't
feels
even
like
know.
we're
I have,
lost. It
yeah.
feels like it's giving like karaoke of black music.
Mm-hmm.
Not all the
Yeah.
time. I know there's some good stuff out there, and I'll be honest to say, I don't listen to a lot of K-pop right now. When I was in college, I had a lot of Asian friends, so I was listening to more K-pop at that time, but I definitely wasn't like deep diving and listening to other stuff. Now, I love me some like 80s disco, like 80s Japanese disco stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, or like their psychedelic music is really good too. But something about not all K-pop, like I'm definitely not critiquing the genre as a whole because I have not done research, but the ones that just come up on my feed, it's giving basic. It's just giving
Mhm.
basic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like TikTok. It's like TikTok pop. Like it's not.
Mhm.
I think it's because they all the dances look like TikTok dances to me.
Yeah.
Like, what is
does.
this? Like,
Yeah.
That's
the
right.
feeling is missing. The feeling is missing. It's giving the moves, you know,
Right.
but the feeling is not there because I've seen people dance to hip hop and you can or even like any genre of music, you can tell with dance if someone is doing the moves or if they're feeling the moves. Like, and you don't have to do a lot to feel it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
but that's why facial expressions in dance is so important too. Because like, you know, I don't know about nobody else, but back in the YouTube days, I was heavy into the dance scene. I think his name was Mr. Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love their dance videos or whatever, their choreography. So like, a part of that though was the emotions that they're showing. It's not just you're just dancing to it. It's like you're still telling a story, you know, with your body. So it's like, I feel like it's just gotten very like everything needs to be cute and
Performative. You're about to say it. Yeah, it's definitely performative.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to show that they have some soul and they really don't.
Instead of actually having it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of weird.
Heavy on the cute for sure. Cause I'm just like, respectfully, hip hop's not cute.
It's
Yeah.
not cute. Like what? Like
yeah. I started taking when I moved to LA. I started taking hip hop classes for the first time, and because what the dance that I had done up until that point was very
sensual, sexy and things like that. Hip hop was very, even though I love hip hop music like to death, even dancing hip hop was kind of hard for me because I felt like I had to be okay with looking like, I don't want to say ugly, that's not like the right word, but like not looking cute, right?
Like polished, yeah.
Yes, because like that feeling, like even the way I had been dancing up until that point was very much about certain lines and shapes and rolls and things like that, like how your body is moving. And like hip hop is so different from that. And I'm not even gonna lie, I just kind of felt like, although I still low key feel like this, because I'm just like, I'm black, it's gonna be like kind of natural. And which some of it was when I can get out of my head and how I look and just focus on the feeling. But I definitely feel like a lot of the very poppy TikTok hip hop things like that, it's about the look. So you can never get into the real feeling when you're just too concerned about how you look. Like,
not your standard.
Yeah, that's why one of my favorite like types of dance is crunk.
Yeah.
Things that show emotion. I want you to show me your anger, show me your sadness. Like that's why I'm a theater kid down. Like I love the emotion of it. That's what is evoking other people's emotion. That's why people are drawn into it. So like that's a form of hip hop at its truest form, in the form of dance. So
I feel that I still like the movies that made me want to be a dancer are like You Got Served. Like
Yep.
Like, till this day, like if they play that breathe in, breathe out at the club, like
going crazy.
Breathe in, breathe out. Yeah.
Yes.
That was my shit.
Everybody's a crumper when that song comes on.
We all doing the same 5 dance moves we know from the movie, but that's all right. We rock it.
I remember when we seen that movie, as soon as we got home, we all like moved the couches and in the living room, and we all started doing a little dance battle. That shit was so funny.
Yes.
And that's something too I started doing recently. I started adding music from movies to my playlist. Cause I'm like, I don't know, you almost forget, like, nigga. I don't know. That's why I like cinematography though too.
There was a song from the Spider-Man movie that I want to say was Tame Impala. I'm so glad you said that. That I literally was thinking I need to go back and look at the soundtrack for this movie. And so you just reminded me. I'm gonna write it down.
Hell yeah! I be doing that too. I'll be watching movies. Like I watched Sleepover recently, and they have like a lot of good like indie, like early indie stuff. And I'm like, dude, I need to add this to my playlist. Like, what am I doing? But yeah, that's why I like. I was gonna say I like movies for that reason too, because it puts different art forms together, like photography and music. Like certain shots, like Backroom. I'm not gonna spoil nothing because I know we haven't seen it yet. But there's certain parts in there where it was just like if you just took a still shot of this, like there's so much that is being said in this one little, So I love things like that. I think they're beautiful. And like I said, I love stories. So there's a lot of just storytelling. There's so much. Even in Obsession, it was like that. Like
Obsession was
I think
good.
there was a part where she had like the flower vase in front of her face.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. There was just certain parts where I'm just like, dude, and like the certain fonts that they put on the film. Sometimes I seen something the other day that said the video games had the piss font on them, where they're all like a tinge yellow.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But he's like, that's a part of the art though. Like that's a part of the art form is like, instead of it just being black and white, it's like it's a tinge of sepia or it's a tinge of, brown or black and white or whatever. So I like seeing those in there. I think one good movie that does that is Poor Things. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Poor Things?
Sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar.
We should put that on the watch list because that is a beautiful movie. I think it's Emma Stone that plays it or plays in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't seen it in a minute. It's basically like it's kind of like a woman's freedom movie, I will say, but
Mm-hmm.
like it's about, if I'm not mistaken, this guy creates a woman
Okay,
or
I
something
seen
of the
that movie.
sort.
I seen that movie. I know exactly what movie. Like, is she like
That
Frankenstein
shit,
pretty much?
basically, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
he's like,
movie was
oh, I think he
crazy.
put like a baby's brain in her or something.
Yeah, poor
And then I think
thing.
she just ends up like getting away or like getting out and starts experience like it's on some like Tangled. If Tangled was Frankenstein or some shit. If
Yeah,
Tangled and Frankenstein had a baby, this would
yeah,
be that movie.
facts.
But she just basically kind of goes out without the restraints of whatever would have been put on her and this brand new brain and like, you know, kind of absorbs the world like, you know, like a sponge
Yeah,
for herself. I thought it was really beautiful though. But they had just a lot of good cinematic parts in it where it was like, this could just be a
yeah,
picture.
facts. This is the
So,
first time I'm ever drawing toes. That's,
Oh,
They look good.
I was gonna say, so far so good, dude.
yeah. Let's see. Nah, I appreciate y'all sticking by, watching the process. This is what it's all about, you know. It's a safe place for creators to create. Yeah, I like this picture. Tara actually smiling. She usually has resting bitch face, but I decided to do
I
something
love her
different.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good.
Now,
So who is this character?
Tara is one of the she's the part of the Trinity. Like, I explained how Devontae and Hakeem are kind of rivals and they go at odds because of their different backgrounds. Tara is like that bridge between both of them. And she's a very important character to the story, within the power system and within, like, you know, the lore. Her whole thing is that she's kind of trying to find herself. So as the vehicle of the story moves, you have Devontae, you have Hakeem, which is a psychic homie, and he's all about spirituality and finding different spiritualities. Then you have Devontae, who's a skeptic, who's just like, I don't believe in none of that shit. You're just spitting some fucking hoorah. I don't care about none of that. Fucking whoa. And she's in the middle trying to figure out, like, oh, what's real and what's not real. You know what I'm saying? And she, you know how I always say two things can be true at the same time. She's usually that one to kind of be like, oh, you know, Hakeem was right about this, but you were also right about this, Devontae. And bridges both of them together. So yeah. And she's a love interest of Devontae as well. So yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And she's like a magical girl. She has like, essentially she's like Sailor Moon. So she can transform, have different hairstyles, and pretty much do anything, honestly.
I love it.
Yeah. Now I gotta represent. Black women are magical.
AF.
Yeah. Now, I wanted to explain shading to you, but you guys were talking.
We listen.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So what I meant by shading is everything. Is that even the lines, how thick they are. Your cousin was kind of talking about it. How thick they are at certain places, all kind of is shading, especially when you're drawing in black and white. So how thick these are, the way I draw the ends of the dreads or the locks are all part of the shading. You know, it's all to make it face a certain way. So this lock is more thicker at certain parts because it is facing a certain way, and the way her hips or her abs go in is all part of the shading. It's like, if I made this too thick, you know what I'm saying, it wouldn't necessarily make sense, or it would be like she's turning a certain way. So if I make this extremely shaded, you would be thinking that she's kind of, I would say, turning away from the camera, or turning away from the camera. So if I shaded all this a lot, it'd be like, oh, I'm trying to make it to where the sun or the light is facing away from this side of her abs.
Mm.
And then the same thing with her, chest area. It's like I made the reason why it's so thick now is because I added a whole bunch of layers. But usually I'd go back in and erase it to make it seem like she's facing a certain way. So you use shading even with the line art. If you take all the shading away and just left it to this, then it's just like, that's just the line art, the outline of everything. And then when I add the layers, it kind of adds the shading. And usually in Procreate, I just move it one way, move it the other way, and it adds that extra darkness. So yeah, that's shading 101. That's a little too dark. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love her lashes too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to get good at drawing baby hairs. That's like the hardest part that I'm finding right now, is drawing baby hairs and trying to, get that representation. I'm going to, after like the next 2 pieces I draw, I'm going to start doing, I love seeing Tara smile. It's super refreshing. Yeah, she always looking mean. I'm gonna start drawing more black hair, you know what I'm saying, just to represent. I feel like the hair I draw is good enough. I need to explore, a lot more different hairstyles. So yeah. Yes, sir. Okay, we got 3 people in here. Now I'm gonna do some shading. All right.
Hey, Lord, what's good?
Yeah.
What's up?
What's good? We were looking for you to play Rivals earlier.
Alright, well, it's my fault.
That's all good. All right. I'll mess that up. I love drawing digitally because you can just make it all go away. Yeah. Said check your DMs on Instagram. All right. I think I sent you a video that has a lot of ideas for black hair that help you out. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Vaughn. Okay. Yeah, because I'm tired of drawing locks. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like most of my characters have locks. I'm not sure if I'm doing the shading right. There it goes. That makes it better.
When I draw, I usually draw my hairstyles.
First? You'll draw the hair first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, oh no, like whenever I draw women, I mean, I usually just be drawing the face, but I always use my hairstyles because I feel like it's rare that I see like my specific hairstyles out and about.
Yeah.
That's how I always start.
Yeah, your hair is pretty unique.
Thank you.
Alright. I like drawing this character because she's mainly outlined. There's no like real shading with her, except for like behind her head. And I changed the opacity to make it like it's gray behind her. And I know I need to start drawing in color. I feel like that would make my Instagram account blow up if I started drawing my characters in color. But I don't know, I'm stubborn. I just want to give it that real manga feel. And it's like my aesthetic so far, so it's working.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
If you do or if you don't, it don't matter.
starting to come together now. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what demographic I'm trying to hit. Am I trying to have these characters be older, like most animes, or younger, like most animes? But I feel like that is gonna get in the way of the storytelling, like, because there's a lot of traumatic and older adult themes that I want to explore. Oh, this shit look dope. Yeah. That's every time I finish drawing her, that's like I just feel like, damn, she looks so cool.
Yeah.
She's like one of my favorite characters. Yeah. Originally, she didn't have a big part in the story.
Well, she's a love interest now.
hmm Well, she was still the love interest then, but it was just like the lore to her story was kind of like, eh. And she just had, like, she was pretty much, her powers were like Storm. She could like use electricity and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm just essentially copying. Like, I need to do something with her that'll make her stand apart from every other, female protagonist. And by making her a magical girl, like, she kind of stands out now because she's not just any magical girl. She can like whip out a Glock, like, like she can just whip out a gun, and just other things. Like I see her pick like using like a comb as a sword. Like she can just make this giant comb into a sword or something. Like she can do a lot.
That's dope.
That I'm planning. Yeah. All right. I think I did enough shading. And like another thing I wanted to do is give her like these giant ass locks, like that just come out here when she transforms. And like make 4 of them. Something like that. Yeah. But I'm still experimenting with that. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Now, do that. Yeah. Said it was a while back I sent it though. All right, for sure. I'll check it out. But with that being said, I'm going to draw the stream to a close. Just want to shout out all the homies. Thank y'all for pulling up. Make sure you guys follow Tobechi. She goes by My Trick Your Treat on Instagram. Make sure y'all follow Nani. What was your ad on? Is it Ayo Nani on all platforms? Nani, you there? She's not there.
It's Black Alex, so BLAXK Alice _.
Make sure y'all give her a follow. And make sure y'all follow Art by Vaughn. He's always pulling up, man. I appreciate you, bro. For the demographic, I say go with how you tell a story. If you know that story isn't a child friendly, then go with the mature influence or teen to young adult. That's real. But yeah, shout out to all the homies across the world. Shout out to the homies in the AZ, Arizona. Shout out to the homies in the UNO. And I just want to give a special shout out to my pops, man. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. He supports all the time. Shout out to God for allowing me to do what I do every day, share my gifts with the world. I promise I use my gifts for understanding. Shout out to the pod. You know what I'm saying? Every other Friday, we'll be having a pod. So make sure y'all check that out. If you guys want to join the Discord, go ahead and DM me. And yeah, Like I always say, it's been real. It's been Mukamara Sama signing out. All right. Now we can say racist shit, guys.